Hey everybody, this is Ramon from DreamStart. I am your personal brand coach, and I'm super excited to see you guys today and to be before you on today. Today I'm not going to do a long video for our personal branding and the importance of personal branding and how to build one. So for those of you guys who don't know, one of the things that I do is I have helped dozens, if not hundreds of entrepreneurs with building their personal brand. And one of the things I've come to know in the midst of the years that I've been helping people build their personal brands is a lot of people are not 100% clear about why personal branding is so important, okay? So I want to kind of talk about personal branding and why it's so important to your career, why it's important to your business, and why it's important to you growing as a professional and growing as a person, right? First thing I want to talk about is your personal brand is essentially like your mission and what you're known for in your professional and personal contacts, right? When you think about what you're known for in business, when you think about what you're known for in your career, when you think about what you're known for among your friends and families, the thing they remember about you the most is what they remember you for. However, though, the reason why personal branding is so important is that you want to dictate and navigate and specifically create and cultivate the kind of message you want them to say about you. When you leave the room, what are people thinking about you? That's part of your personal brand. When you leave outside of the room and you're among friends, you're among professionals, you're among coworkers, what is the thing they say when they think about you? Those are the things that are determining what your personal brand is. Now, there are three main things that a personal brand can do for you. Number one, it can help you generate opportunities, okay? One thing I love about personal branding is it helps you generate tons of opportunities that you normally wouldn't have access to. I have a client right now who's had several speaking opportunities as a result of branding herself, right? I've had several people that I've talked to who've had not just speaking engagements, but they've been on national publications and national media outlets because of their personal brand. I've had people who have been able to connect and meet people they've never been able to meet because of their personal brand. Even for me personally, right? My personal brand has allowed me to meet the founder of ESPN. My personal brand has allowed me to speak in other states. My personal brand has allowed me to do so many different things and connect with so many different people where I wouldn't be able to do that before. The kind of opportunities your personal brand allows you to do, it really allows you to take control of who you are, your network, your income, and those things, and it allows you to take control of that in a way that if you was just subject to a job, or if you was just subject to other things, that you wouldn't be able to take control of that, right? That's the power of your personal brand. The second thing your personal brand will allow you to do is it allows you to grow your influence, right? That being an influencer, a subject matter expert in your industry, someone that's known for something, is really what brings people and what draws people to you. It attracts opportunities to you instead of you going to look for it, right? One thing about personal branding is that it allows you to be influential in a certain industry. When you think about permanent markers, you don't think about a permanent marker, you think about Sharpie. Because the company Sharpie has such an influence in the industry that people know permanent markers based on Sharpies. When you think about search engines, there used to be hundreds of search engines around, like Google. I mean, not just like Google, but AltaVista and Ask Jeeves and Metafilter and so many other ones, right? But because of Google and because they are so associated with their brand, right, with searching, like Google has been able to really maximize the influence in searching. When you think about like tissue, people used to always call it tissue. But then when Kleenex became one of the most popular tissues around, a lot of people don't even call Kleenex or means tissue. They call it Kleenex because Kleenex as a brand has become so associated with their brand that they've maximized and influenced their industry. My question to you is, what do you want to become known for in your industry? What do you want to become known for in what you're doing in your industry? What do you want to become known for in your particular area that you're going into? That's what it means to build your personal brand. So I'm going to talk about three simple things that you can do to really help build your personal brand. I'm going to talk about it from a foundational aspect first, and then I'm going to talk about some tools that you can use to help build your personal brand. So the first thing I take people through when it comes to their personal brand is you want to identify your brand mission. What is your why? Why are you going into your industry? Why are you doing the things that you do, right? The number one question that you want to ask yourself is, why am I going into this industry? Okay. Now, there are three aspects of your whys you want to ask. First aspect of your why is, why am I wanting to do what I want to do in my industry? Like, what is my story? And you want to ask yourself, like, what about your story connects you to your industry? It can't just be the why, in the sense that, hey, I love doing it, I like to help people, or I want to make money. Wanting to help people and wanting to make money is not a strong enough why. Okay. The reason why is because when you're connecting with a person or potential client or potential networking opportunity, just wanting to make money and helping people isn't going to really move the needle. People connect with people that they like. And the quickest way to accelerate your value or your credibility with someone is by having your story connect to your why. An example for me is the reason why I love training and coaching people on their personal brands, because I know what it feels like to not have one. I know what it feels like to work at a job, to be doing something that I don't necessarily enjoy doing, but I feel like I'm stuck in the world that I'm in because I don't have any opportunities. And some of you guys may feel that way, that you've only been limited to just your job. You've only been limited to just, the next opportunity that comes. You've only been limited by reacting to what comes your way versus being proactive with your brand and choosing which direction you want to go, right? And so personal branding is a way to take control of that, where you get to begin to dictate where you want your life to go and not allow those opportunities come to you, right? What is your why? How does your why connect to your story, okay? The next thing you want to think about with your why is, how does it connect to people? What specific people are you wanting to influence? What specific groups in branding and in marketing, we call it a target audience or a target avatar or a niche, right? All those words have been used to describe an audience, but we got to talk about, like, what specific group of people you want to impact. If you're starting a business, it could be, man, I want to find 18 to 25-year-old millennials who make over $80,000 a year, who work in these industries, like in the aerospace industry, who likes to hang out in these particular areas and who likes to do these things. You want to paint a picture of the kind of people you're reaching, right? If you're thinking about your personal brand in regards to your career, you want to talk about the kind of companies that you want to target, what kind of core values of that company, what kind of mission and vision of that company, what kind of things that company does that is part of the people you want to connect with. That is part of your why, right? So the first part of your why is, like, okay, man, here's the reason, my story. Here's how my story connects to it. The second part of your why is, here's the people I want to reach. The third part of your why is, what problem do I want to solve, right? When you think about your mission and your vision, like, what specific problem do I want to solve that I don't find people solving in my industry? What is my unique way of solving something in my industry that no one else is, right? That's the first thing you want to think about, is your why when it comes to your industry, when it comes to your brand. The second thing you want to think about are your assets, okay? Once you've identified your mission, you want to really take a profile of what are your assets. You cannot build credibility in an industry that you don't have the assets to support, okay? I see a lot of people online claiming and saying they're experts in areas where their assets do not quantify, okay? And so when it comes to your personal brand, you want to take an inventory on, what are some of the things that I do, right, I have done, or what are some of the things that I'm really good at or I've invested into that I can actually make a part of my brand, right? So it's not enough to say, man, I am passionate about this particular industry. Then let me look at the credibility in which I've done that, and let me examine that credibility and decide how much I can really invest in this based on what I've done, right? So some assets that you can look at: number one, your educational experience. Anything that you've done with education, which is college, school, any programs you were a part of in school, any things that you've done in your degree, those are considered assets, right? Anything that you've invested money into, right? If you invested money to learn a new skill, if you invested money to learn a new project, if you invested money to learn a new opportunity, or learn a new technique for something, or you've gotten a certificate or a diploma or a certification in something, all of those are considered assets, which is pretty awesome, okay? Another asset you can look at in your background is your story. Your story is a part of your asset as well. How you got to where you are right now sometimes is the most valuable asset that you have. Another thing that you can look at when it comes to your assets and examining what you do is what has other people paid you to do, right? And so what are things that other people have invested in you for you to do that they say, you know what, I'm going to invest money into you doing this particular thing for me? Whether it's at your job, right? A lot of times it's your job that is probably the number one thing that people pay you to do. But even outside of that, maybe there's, I know my wife, she could technically become a detailer, a car detailer, because people have actually paid her to detail her car, to detail cars. But that's an asset that she has because she's really good at it. And it's not something that she wanted to make a career out of, but people have actually paid her to detail cars for them, right? Like that's an asset that she has because she's really good with details, right? So those are things you want to look at, things that you've invested money into, okay? And so once you've identified your assets, the last thing you want to do is you want to choose your platform. Now, there's a million different platforms when it comes to your personal brand that you can begin to implement your brand. You know what your why is, you know what your assets are as a person. Now, which platform are you going to combine that why and and then those assets into being able to be consistently connecting with your audience, right? Some people want to brand themselves as speakers, right? And so they want to have a speaking brand. That's a platform. And so they want to go out and they want to reach people as speakers. And though you can do a lot of things, the number one platform is going to be speaking. There are some people who want to brand their platform as an author, right? I know several authors I'm working with, even currently. 2 of them I'm working with right now that are clients who are about to publish books. And they know that one of their callings is being an author. And so they want to take their mission, their vision, their why. They want to take their assets and they want to use that in the form of being an author, okay? And so they want to write books. They want to produce books. They want to publish books. They want to travel with booking packages. They want to travel with book tours, right? They love being authors. There are some people who want to be consultants or coaches. There's a lot of people out there who are really passionate about walking with people one-on-one or in group settings and being consultants or coaches. That's part of their platforms. And then there are some people who, man, they want to take their brand, their platform as a product. They want to take what they have and they want to make it into a product. They want to sell that product to the masses, right? Now, a lot of people, they do a combination of all of these, and we know that. But typically, when it comes to you as a brand, you start with one, okay? You start, when it comes to your personal brand, you start with one of these and you focus on those and you build that until you've become known for that thing, and then you leverage it to something else. So some people start off as consultants and they leverage that, they grow that, they build that, they focus on that. And then from there, once they, got into a certain milestone in their coaching or consulting business, then they leverage or they pivot that for like speaking, or pivot that into a book, or they pivot that into other things. And so when it comes from a business standpoint, those are some of the entrepreneurial or platforms I've seen people to use. And then I've seen people who in their career, they want to use the platform in their career to really build their brand. And so instead of them writing a book or becoming a coach or consultant or becoming a speaker, a lot of times what I've helped people do is how to navigate their career using their brand. So it may be, hey, I want to get a promotion. It may be, hey, I want to increase my income. It may be, hey, I want to really have more influence in my job. That is a platform. Your career is a platform that you can use for your brand. Some people aren't called to write books or start businesses. Some people are specifically called just to work in their career. And so if you want to work in your career, your personal brand can help you build your career. There's a lot of people I know out there who want to become experts in a certain industry so they can grow in an industry. And so I've helped people to go from one job to the next, but they're really growing in their career because of their personal brand, okay? And so personal branding is one of those things that, like I said before, it gives you opportunities, right? It gives you influence. And then the other thing is it allows you to increase your income as well. Typically what your brand is, you can take control over your income versus your income taking control over you. I love one thing about my brand is that I can control what I want my income to be more, because I don't have to wait for my job to pay me in order for me to do that. And if I ever were to lose my job, I'm not so frustrated with it that I don't have a mechanism in order to continue to generate income. Your personal brand can give you a raise, and that's the power behind it, okay? So thank you so much for listening to my Shift Talk for today. I know that was a quick one today, but if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to email me at dreamstarttulsa@gmail.com. That's dreamstarttulsa@gmail.com. Again, my name is Ramon. I am your personal brand coach. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you guys so much.